they're not really pushing this yet. Like FSD $7,000, they haven't made it that easy for people to get FSD. And I think they raised the price on purpose because they don't want a bunch of new autopilot users kind of like coming into the system. It's good to have people who are like the people who are experienced and know like what it does and what it doesn't do are able to use it a lot more safely, because you have like preemptive disengagement. Like you can predict what it's going to be able to handle and what it isn't going to be able to handle. So I think they haven't wanted to get the new users in. But towards the end of the year, when the software becomes really, really reliable, they're going to turn up the crank on this. Like you saw Elon mention FSD subscriptions. Like, why are they doing FSD subscriptions later in the year rather than now? They're waiting until it's like really reliable, and then they turn up the crank on this. And when they turn up the crank on this, they're going to give everyone a free trial. Okay, 30 days,
that's
14
going to be a
days.
game changer. And like you said, you're going to get hooked.
And everybody has this on their cars. They have the hardware already. So they're going to get the free trial and they're going to be like, okay, that was incredible. They're going to sign up for the subscription for $150 a month or whatever. And what you're going to see is high margin, high volume. Right now, 15, 20% of people buy FSD on their cars. If you don't, you get basic autopilot in one lane, which is great. But not that many people, only a minority of people are buying FSD right now. Once it, and the Model 3 standard range is a $40,000 car, FSD $7,000, probably going to go up to $8,000. So you've got like 20% of the cost of the whole car, and it's almost entirely like pure margin, right? Because what's the variable cost of shipping another piece of software? Zero. You've already paid the cost of installing the hardware in the vehicle at manufacturing time. So you're getting back that cost, and it's like $7,000 of pure margin. Like I'd almost be willing to say a car with FSD, probably more than half of the earnings on the car come from the FSD package itself, in terms of gross profit. So this is a really big deal. And let's say the percentage of people buying FSD went from 20% to 40% on new purchases. That's going to jack up gross margins in like a way you can't even believe. Like people are going to be like, holy shit, where did all this margin come from? So really high margin on the new sales. And then on top of that, you've got the old customers coming back and saying, we want to buy this for our old cars. So on top of high margins on the new cars, you're now retroactively going back and increasing the margin on past sales. Okay. And then at the same time, you've got high volume with 3 factories reducing costs all around the world. And you've got, FSD pumping up the margins. Like, I think it's really going to surprise people because they're used to thinking about an auto company and they have an idea of what automotive gross margins and automotive net margins look like. And this is not an auto business. This is a software business. And once they see that and realize that, people are going to be pretty surprised by what the margin story looks like in 2021, I think.